Right now, while you're watching this, your body is making a decision. A quiet one, deep inside your cells, your metabolism is choosing which fuel to burn, glucose or fat. And here's the strange part. For many people, that decision was already made hours ago, before you woke up, before breakfast, before your first cup of coffee. The switch was already set, and for millions of people, that switch rarely flips. Not because they lack discipline, not because they aren't trying, but because their metabolism has lost its ability to easily change fuels. Today, we're going to open that system. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the body sometimes struggles to burn fat and how to help restore that flexibility. Welcome back to Body Science Truths, where we explain what's actually happening inside your body. No internet myths, just real biology explained simply. And today, we are taking you somewhere most people never look. Inside the metabolic switch that decides whether your body runs on sugar or stored fat. Let's get into it. Most people believe metabolism works like simple math. Eat fewer calories, burn more calories, and fat loss should happen automatically. But the biology inside your body is more complicated than that. Your metabolism doesn't just count calories, it regulates energy systems, hormones, fuel pathways, and those systems constantly decide which fuel your body prefers to burn. Sometimes that fuel is glucose, the sugar that comes from carbohydrates. Other times it's fat, stored energy sitting inside fat cells. A healthy metabolism switches between these fuels easily. Scientists call this ability metabolic flexibility. But when that flexibility is lost, the body becomes stuck relying heavily on glucose, and switching to fat becomes much harder. Inside your cells are tiny structures called mitochondria. These are the power plants that generate energy for your body, but mitochondria can only prioritize one fuel at a time, glucose or fat. Scientists describe this interaction through something called the Randle Cycle. In simple terms, it's a metabolic competition, a tug-of-war between fuels. When glucose is plentiful, cells naturally use it first. It's quick, it's efficient, and the body is designed to process it rapidly. But when glucose is constantly available, fat becomes the backup fuel that rarely gets used. This is where hormones start influencing the system. And one hormone plays a particularly important role: insulin. Every time you eat carbohydrates, your body releases insulin. Insulin helps move glucose from your bloodstream into your cells. But insulin also sends another signal at the same time. It tells fat cells to hold onto stored energy. In other words, when insulin levels stay elevated, the body tends to prioritize glucose as fuel. Fat burning becomes less active. This doesn't mean fat burning stops completely, but the body strongly favors glucose. And if insulin levels remain elevated throughout the day, the metabolic switch rarely moves toward fat. Now pause for a moment, because what we just described isn't unusual. For many people, it's the normal metabolic environment of modern eating patterns: frequent snacks, constant carbohydrates, repeated insulin signals throughout the day. When that happens, the body spends most of its time burning incoming fuel instead of stored energy. If you've ever felt frustrated that fat loss feels unusually difficult despite effort, this metabolic pattern may be part of the explanation. But the good news is that metabolism is adaptive, and certain signals can help restore its ability to switch fuels. Researchers studying metabolic flexibility often observe 3 consistent signals that encourage fuel switching. Step 1. Create time between meals. When the body goes several hours without incoming calories, insulin levels gradually fall. As insulin decreases, the body becomes more willing to draw from stored energy. For many people, extending the overnight fasting window to around 12 to 16 hours can help create that metabolic environment. For example, finish eating around 8 p.m. Eat the first meal around 10 or 11 a.m. This extended overnight window gives the body time to access stored fuel. Step 2. Break the fast with balanced nutrition. The first meal of the day influences how the body handles fuel for the next several hours. Meals rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fats tend to produce a slower metabolic response than highly refined carbohydrates. This can help maintain steadier energy levels and support metabolic flexibility. Step 3. Add light fasted movement. Even simple movement before the first meal can influence fuel use. A 15 to 20-minute walk in a fasted state encourages the body to rely more on stored energy. Over time, consistent activity can improve the mitochondria's ability to shift between fuels efficiently. 3 simple signals: time between meals, balanced nutrition, and regular movement. Together, these habits help the body regain its natural metabolic flexibility. The 5 wins summary. Win 1, you discovered what metabolic flexibility actually means. Win 2, you learned how fuel competition happens inside mitochondria. Win 3, you saw how insulin influences fuel selection. Win 4, you understood why frequent eating patterns can limit fat use. Win 5, and you now have simple daily signals that can help restore metabolic flexibility. Quick honest moment. Each video on this channel takes 2 to 3 full days to build. Research, fact-checking, animation, all to make complex biology easier to understand. If this video helped you understand your body better, support the channel. Subscribe, hit like, and tell us in the comments what topic you want us to break down next. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes to your diet, exercise routine, or health practices. Everyone's body is different, and medical guidance should always come from your personal healthcare provider. Remember that switch we talked about at the beginning? The one deciding whether your body burns sugar or fat. For most people, that system runs quietly in the background, almost invisible. But once you understand how metabolism actually works, you start to see those signals everywhere. And sometimes the most powerful systems inside the human body are the ones we never notice. If this made your body make more sense to you, subscribe to Body Science Truths. New videos every Thursday and Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you haven't seen our video on the 3 hormones blocking your fat loss, that's the perfect companion to everything we just covered. The link is right here. See you next time.